This is Wicked Rhody, a wicked good podcast about Rhode Island events and life. Hello and happy spring. My name's Mary Larson.
And I'm Ben DeCastro. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us as we are in the throngs of pollen season. Everything happening outside. You are loaded up on the Zyrtec, the Singulair, the Allegra, you name it. You're on it. But hopefully you're enjoying whatever you're doing, despite the way the weather has been. I mean, we just had so much rain and so much overcast. Hopefully it's starting to warm up. What have you been up to lately?
Hiding indoors from the pollen. You know, it's so funny because with all this rain, I was thinking, okay, it's going to wash the pollen down the drains. Both you and I, Ben, are severe springtime allergy sufferers. And I got to tell you, my neighborhood is beautiful in the spring. We have a lot of those flowering trees and, of course, all the flowers have been coming up. And all I've wanted to do is go for a walk to go just see nature's bounty. But sadly, the only way I can see these trees is if I'm driving. I feel like I've been locked indoors. But aside from that, you know, I'm excited because I know that there's only a couple more weeks of this severe pollen. And then after that, we're just going to go into sweat time. You know, it's
absolutely.
Pretty much going to be summer.
Yeah, go right into, like you said, go from this gray and, you know, sneezing and algae weather to 90 and humidity.
At the beach.
Yes, absolutely, which I'm okay with. I am
Agreed.
okay with that. I will take that any day. Big news, the Boston Bruins on a local meaning, you know, the regional sports, I should say. At the time of this recording, they have 3-0. 3 games to none right now, I should say. And hopefully they'll be moving to the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be very exciting for them.
Yes.
The Boston Red Sox and the Paw Sox are both playing baseball. And that's where I'll leave it. They're playing baseball, but you know, there's always events happening with that as well. Of course, McCoy Stadium, I'll be there. Mm-hmm. And you know, we talk about a lot of just different fun events that are happening. We will probably highlight some of the concerts that'll be coming to Bold Point Park over there in East Providence at some point too, because that season is about to ramp up. And boy, let me tell you, they've got quite a lineup coming this year.
Awesome.
Ben Folds is coming.
No way!
Yes, he is coming, so you definitely want to check that out. There's a bunch of other folks, so, you know, stay tuned to every episode, but especially this one, because while you're on the road working, getting errands done, you just listen and enjoy this episode of things that are happening this weekend. And if something piques your interest, you can find all the links and info on our website, wickedroadypodcast.com.
We're going to take a moment, of course, to talk about our new sponsor, Float RI, located in Post Road in Warwick, right next to the airport. I mean, it's literally like a hop, skip, and a jump from it, which is perfect because if you're traveling and you want to de-stress, maybe you want to have a little massage, Reiki, or maybe you want to do some of this really cool flotation therapy, you can before or after traveling. I'm going to tell you, I did it before I traveled recently, and it made my trip so relaxing.
Yeah, we recently experienced some of their services, including the floating, as you mentioned. People wonder what floating is. You spend either 60 or 90 minutes in this private isolation pod of 850 pounds of Epsom salt and 10 inches of water. It's all diluted, heated at skin temperature, and it creates this anti-gravity environment that allows you to rest, rejuvenate, heal, and let your brain kind of turn off for a little bit, and really gives you some much-needed healing internally. You can learn more about Float RI by visiting our website. And, of course, we'll be sharing our experiences in the coming weeks, and we'll have some wonderful giveaways as well. All right, Mary, what do we have for our interesting pick of the week?
Well, you know, when I was going to a local gardening place, trying to get my window boxes taken care of, I went too many weeks early. There were a couple of really warm days where I was like, oh, I should get gardening because I have a brown thumb and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I went and they said, really, the best time to get your spring and summer plants all set up is Mother's Day weekend and after. So, of course, now that Mother's Day has passed, there is not only a great time to plant, but there's actually a lot of wonderful events in and around the state to help you if you are not really efficient like I am, or if you weren't raised by farmers like Ben was. So I wanted to let you know about a couple of events.
That doesn't mean anything, by the way.
You're probably a much better gardener than me, though.
I can kill something just as easy as anybody can.
Have you killed bamboo?
I've never had the chance, but I'm sure I could.
That takes some serious bad skill, if I do say so myself, because I have done that, sadly. But you know what I do love are container gardens. I feel like, they're these smaller, you can have just like a little simple one. It can be a bit bigger. I see my window boxes even as container gardens. So there's going to be a container gardening just informational class happening Saturday from 2 to 3. It's the URI Cooperative Extension. They're going to be at the Cranston Library, actually, just to dig a little bit deeper into container gardening. You're going to learn how to start one from scratch, discuss different containers, mediums, nutrients, and methods. And this is just a great idea, especially for those of you who want to zhuzh up the front of your yard. Maybe just having a simple container garden or two really helps bring color, adds dimension, and it doesn't take a lot of care. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty easy. If I can do it, you can do it. There's also an introduction to bees and beekeeping also happening through the URI Cooperative Extension. That's happening. Oh, never mind. That happened today, the day that we're recording. Ignore that, my friends. But last but not least, there's going to be tons of events through that URI Cooperative Extension. They're having things all spring long going on for you. So keep your eye on them, because as I said, if you need help with your gardening, they've got stuff going all spring long. So that's what's wicked interesting. And now here's what's wicked fun in the 401.
The Academy Players of Rhode Island. We've talked about these folks in the past. They are just always doing amazing, amazing shows. And folks, Alice in Wonderland opens on May 16th. You are not going to want to miss this. It's a wonderful show. And they do just such great work over there. It's running May 16th through May 26th. And the level of education these people get, because it's not just kids. I mean, obviously there's primarily a lot of kids in it, but the amount of education they get through this is world class, and they don't do the typical rehearsal time for a show. They actually add to it because they put on all these intensives. So it's really something you should check out. But it's Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, you know the story. You know the whole deal. It is going May 16th through the 26th over there at the Academy Players. Right there. It's right on like the Johnston Providence line, right near Buttonwood Golf Course.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
So go check that out.
I love it. Also happening this weekend is the neighborhood-wide yard sale. This is going through the West Broadway Neighborhood Association. It's going to be Saturday from 8:30 to 1 p.m. So if you're someone who loves to check out yard sales, this is the season that it really starts back up. You'll just like to drive around, and sometimes things are hit or miss, and you wish that maybe a whole neighborhood could decide to have a yard sale together, because you're sure to find something good there, right? Well, this is going to be over 60. That's right, 60 individual yard sales at houses locations throughout the Federal Hill and West End area of Providence. This, of course, is going to be super fun, family friendly. There's going to be so many treasures around every single corner, sidewalk sales, plus there's going to be tons of other organizations like businesses in that area who are going to be open, doing special events. So if you have something to sell, however, maybe you've been watching Marie Kondo on Netflix, and you've been doing some spring cleaning, or if you're a business that wants to participate, maybe you too want to have a food sale, a sidewalk sale, anything like that. They did want to make sure that people knew about it. The day that this comes out, you can probably still wiggle your way in to see if they have any openings. But no matter what, there's maps going to be distributed, and you can check out, as I said, over 60 individual yard sales. You're bound to find something. Even if you didn't even have anything that you needed, you're bound to find something you want there. And
maybe it's something you want to consider for next year, the next time they do one of these. So this might be the first time, your first experience to see how it all runs and see how it all gets together. And you can talk to the right people and pick up some tips and tricks. Mm-hmm. Hey, there is going to be a ribbon cutting ceremony and a doo-wop party at the Green Line Apothecary. Did I say that?
Apothecary?
That one. Apothecary. On Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Green Line Apothecary in Providence, which is on North Main Street, 905 North Main Street to be exact. And it's going to be great. They are launching their official ribbon cutting ceremony as well as a free live doo-wop concert.
Cool.
They will have ice cream there. They will have an authentic soda fountain, which will be serving limited edition birthday cake batter ice cream, along with nostalgic menu of all natural sodas, shakes, floats, and so much more.
Nice.
By the way, they are a pharmacy, so you can transfer your prescriptions there. Very easy to do. You just head on over to their location and get the information right from there. You can go to their website and get more information there, but it's going to be a fun time, a little doo-wop party. It's something different if you've never been. Like, we have an old school pharmacy here in Warren, Delecta's. They do awesome stuff, and you can still go there and get a coffee cabinet, and they have those, the same kind of setup they did many, many moons ago. So congratulations to Green Line on their new opening and their new offerings.
Hey, sticking with the doo-wop theme, if you love that kind of music, the oldies but goodies, you might want to check out the Community Players of Pawtucket, because they're putting on a show called All Shook Up. And this is going to be a musical inspired by and featuring the hits of Elvis Presley. So a little bit later than the doo-wop time, but of course still just as good. So it's going to be just really fun. If you enjoy Elvis songs, if you enjoy kind of that era, that dress, that decor, this is going to be a great event you're going to check out. This is their final weekend. They do have shows Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday as a matinee. So if maybe you want to take some kids who also like oldies. And the Community Players stand today as the oldest community theater group in all of Rhode Island. So, Of course, you and I talk a lot about, supporting the local theater, not just the bigger ones, the major big performances that come through, whether it's PPAC or the Vets, but also really these community groups, because not only are they going to be cheaper, but you might actually recognize some members of the cast when you go to these performances. You might say, oh my gosh, that's my neighbor, that's my doctor. There's a variety of people who not only, enjoy theater, but they're actually able to perform through groups like this one. Now, if you've got some little ones who are hankering to get outside, of course, Ben and I can't say enough about Roger Williams Park Zoo. I mean, we talked about it at great length last week, Ben.
Totally.
Seeing the pictures of you with the little foster man online, like so cute. And you were talking too about the rainforest exhibit, how awesome it is.
Oh, it's outstanding. The monkeys, the different species of them. I'm going to say the wrong name. The macaws.
I
remember that word. They just literally run over your head, overhead, not over your head. They run overhead on these ropes and swinging from tree to tree. It's a pretty cool exhibit. They've got all sorts of sea otters and stuff in there, and all sorts of fun stuff. But just in general, we're talking about the need to have a membership. You're a member at the zoo. I've got to get on the ball there, because Little Foster Man is definitely wanting to go back. Mm-hmm. That pays for itself in what, 2 visits? 2 visits.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's all you need to do.
Totally. So talk to me about these endangered species days over there.
Yeah, so on Saturday from 10 to 3, they're really... So Endangered Species Day is actually a day that people are celebrating all over the place. But they're going to be celebrating it at our zoo. And this, of course, is just a day that you really get to focus on the endangered species and build awareness of animal conservation. They're going to be even doing different art exhibits actually focused on different endangered species. So maybe if you have budding artists, this would be fun for them to check out as well. But what's really interesting about Roger Williams Park Zoo is when you go to these different exhibits, they tell you every single animal, not only where it's from, what they eat, but if they are on that endangered species list. And so, for example, they have white-cheeked gibbons, a red wolf, cheetahs, snow leopards, a Komodo dragon, and African elephants, all of which are threatened and endangered species. So not only can you go and learn about it, but you can actually see with some of these animals that the zoo and many other places around the world are really trying to help protect. So it's cool. A great way. The keepers, they're going to be talking about different things you can do to help as well.
Massachusetts and Connecticut, not that far away, ladies and gentlemen. So we bring you these events that are happening just over the borderline, just in case you live in one of the outskirts of Rhode Island and you look for something to do, maybe in the opposite direction. We talked about Seekonk Speedway a couple weeks back about their opening, but it got rained out. So they are trying to make up time. It happens, yeah. So they have their NASCAR Saturday Night Showdown happening on Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m., and it's military night as well. So exciting NASCAR short track racing featuring 4 action-packed divisions. Folks, kids 12 and under are free with adult tickets, and adult tickets are only $14 a person. So it's a New England summer tradition under the lights at Seekonk Speedway. If you watch the big races you see on NASCAR, a lot of these drivers start out at these smaller tracks here, and all active duty and retired military receive complimentary admission as well as a thank you for your service this Saturday night over there at Seekonk Speedway. It's a wonderful track. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. So if you've never been, check it out. If you got little ones, I certainly suggest bringing some earplugs.
Yeah, I think I need to take my kids there because they're huge Lightning McQueen fans right now.
Yes.
So, car racing, but exactly. I'm either going to get those noise canceling headphones or stick some.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, that would help them out a little bit. Wicked Rhody is proud to partner with United Way of Rhode Island, helping to spread the word about absolutely wonderful opportunities for you, your family, your friends, where you can volunteer in and help in and around Rhode Island. So here are a couple of the things that we would love to recommend. Hope's Harvest Rhode Island. They mobilize volunteers to rescue surplus produce from local farms, and they distribute it to hunger relief agencies. I mean, because doesn't that always bother you when there's like a huge waste of food and you say there are hungry people? Well, this is what Hope's Harvest Rhode Island does. So they're going to be seeking volunteers to harvest, sort, and pack food. If you have a brown thumb like me, think about this. You didn't even have to grow it. It's just grown for you, and you can feel like you're doing really good things in the world. So volunteers receive email notifications when trips become available, and you can sign up as your schedule allows.
Join United Way Rhode Island on Saturday, June 1st for their annual Day of Action. Volunteers sort, label, and pack books, preparing them for distribution to youth in Rhode Island summer learning programs. 2 shifts are available from 9 a.m. to noon and from noon to 3 p.m. Lunch and snacks are provided. All ages welcome. Mary, this is the perfect thing to do with the family. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And as always, the United Way of Rhode Island, they're providing great services out there. If you're in need of assistance, you can visit their website or simply dial 211 to get connected to the help that you need. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we said at the beginning, everything we talked about today can be found on our website, wickedrhodypodcast.com.
Guys, I am so impressed by those of you who are following us on Instagram. We are officially up to 11.7 thousand followers on Instagram.
I think we should start pushing for that blue check mark of wonder on the gram.
Yeah, you know how to do that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's get some blue check mark.
Let's go, people.
So one of the best ways that you can let people know about our podcast is by actually screen sharing, like do a little screenshot while you're listening and share it in your story. Give us a tag. Let people know that we exist. The more that you let people know, the more people find out. Podcasts really are heard about through word of mouth. Do you find that too, Ben?
I do. That's a very true statement that you've made there, Mary.
Sharing is caring.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're looking to get your message directly into the ears of our listeners, kind of like what Float has done, Minute with Mary, obviously, with all the makeup stuff you've done it. I've done it with some of my other clients, Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, Safe Sea. If you're looking to get your message into the ears of the listeners, we can help you with that. Just email us, wickedrhodypodcast@gmail.com, or reach out to us on Facebook.
That's right. Well, until next time, I'm Mary Larson.
And I'm the allergy-suffering Ben DeCastro.
And you've been listening to Wicked Rhody. We'll have more for you next Thursday, and hopefully by then, Ben and I can go outdoors again.
We should try to get Zyrtec to sponsor us.
We probably would.
Big Pharma. Big Pharma.